All right, let's talk about a security threat. You're probably picturing something trying to break in from the outside, right? But what if the attack is already inside your systems, hiding in plain sight, in the very data your AI is supposed to trust? That's exactly what we're tackling today. Indirect prompt injection. It's truly the attack from within.
So let me paint you a picture. Your AI support bot gets a PDF from a customer. Looks totally routine, nothing to worry about. But nope, buried inside that document are hidden instructions. And just like that, the bot follows them, summarizes your most confidential strategy documents, and emails the whole thing straight to an attacker. Your data? Gone.
And that, right there, is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How on earth did an attack get in through what's supposed to be a trusted channel? How can the very documents you count on, your own knowledge base, be turned into a weapon against you?
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to break it down. Let's deconstruct this threat and see exactly how these attackers are hiding instructions right inside your data.
So here's what we're officially calling it: indirect prompt injection. Now, the key thing to get is this isn't some hacker typing malicious stuff into your chatbot's chat window. No, this is way sneakier. It's about poisoning the sources, the documents, the web pages, the emails that your AI uses to learn and answer questions.
And this is where it gets really interesting. You've probably heard of direct prompt injection. That's when the attacker is literally typing the bad prompt into the system. But indirect is different. You could have a totally normal employee ask a completely innocent question, but the AI gets compromised anyway. Why? Because the document it pulled up to find the answer was booby-trapped.
This is probably the best way to think about it. Imagine your AI is a librarian. It goes to the library shelf to get a book to answer a question, a source it's supposed to trust. But what it doesn't know is that an attacker has snuck in and put a sticky note inside the book with a fake instruction on it. Your AI, the librarian, reads the book and the sticky note, and it has no idea which one is the real instruction and which is the fake one. It just sees text.
Okay, so where in your tech stack does this actually happen? Well, it's right here, at what we call Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG systems. It's a super common setup. A user asks something, the system fetches some relevant documents, and then, and this is the critical part, step 3, it combines the user's question with the content from those documents. That moment of mixing is the vulnerability. That's when the sticky note gets read right alongside the book.
Now, for any of you with a background in web security, this should be ringing some bells. This is basically the AI version of stored cross-site scripting, or stored XSS. The idea is exactly the same. An attacker plants a malicious payload in your database, or in our case, your document knowledge base, and it just lies dormant, waiting for some unsuspecting user to come along and trigger it.
Okay, so we know how it works. Now for the big question: what's the actual damage? What can an attacker do with this? Let's map out the blast radius.
When you look at what's possible, it really boils down to 6 major types of attacks. And frankly, every single one of these should be on your radar.
You've got the obvious one, data exfiltration, stealing your stuff. But it gets more complex. Instruction hijacking can literally turn your helpful AI assistant into a malicious agent working for the attacker. You've got cross-user attacks, where one person's infected document can attack another user. And here's where it gets really scary. When you connect these AIs to tools, like sending emails or booking meetings, the attack can break out of the chat window and cause real-world damage.
All right, that's the bad news. The threat is real, the risks are big. So, what do we do about it? Well, the answer isn't some magic fix. It's about building resilience with a solid 4-layer defense strategy.
So yeah, there's no silver bullet here. What we need is a defense-in-depth approach with 4 key layers. First up, content sanitization. We have to clean up any data before the AI ever sees it. Second, privilege separation. We need to create a clear boundary between our instructions and the data the AI retrieves. Third, output validation. We check what the AI is about to say or do before it actually does it. And finally, layer 4, continuous monitoring. Because let's be real, we have to assume some attacks will slip through, so we need to be watching for them.
And if you take away one thing from this whole defense strategy, let it be this. It's a fundamental mindset shift. That internal company document, that web page your system just read, it's not trusted information anymore. You have to treat every single piece of retrieved content as untrusted user input. Period. It needs the same level of scrutiny as if an attacker typed it themselves.
And once you start thinking that way, you realize you're dealing with a whole new security reality. It really demands a fundamental shift in how we approach building and securing these systems.
But let's be brutally honest for a second. There is no such thing as perfect prevention here. It's just not possible. Why? Because at the end of the day, these models are incredible at predicting the next word, but they don't understand meaning. They can't truly tell the difference between a fact they read in a document and a command that's disguised as a fact.
And that's precisely why you hear people calling this the SQL injection of the LLM era. Think about it. Just like SQL injection, it's a fundamental vulnerability that comes from mixing instructions and data. This isn't some simple bug we can patch and forget about. This is a new class of threat we have to manage, forever.
So what does that mean for us? It means our entire strategy has to shift. We have to let go of this idea of building a perfect, impenetrable fortress. Instead, the goal becomes defense in depth. We focus on making attacks harder, on spotting them the second they happen, and on making sure we limit the damage they can cause.
So I'll leave you with one final thought to chew on. In this new world, all of your data, every document, every email, every web page, it's basically become executable code for your AI. So the question you have to ask yourself is your security team ready to read between the lines?